Holding cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank Perez. I'm going to be joined with my co-host, Oklahoma Brian, and we have today a real special guest in the house that we've had before, Waz from BettorIQ. We are on Sports Byline USA. We're also on the American Forces Network. And listen to us on iHeart. We've been doing really well over there on iHeart. And, of course, you can find us on Facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports. So today, Brian, guess who we got in the house? Waz. Remember the first show before the NFL season?
Nice.
He gave us a really early nugget.
Yeah. The Colts. Colts, yeah. And I think I had a pick, to be honest, for that week. I think I gave the Colts out as a pick, and they didn't cover the spread that week one there. They're a little slow out of the gate, but they got going eventually.
They sure did, except for that turd they laid in Jacksonville about 3 or 4 weeks ago. They've been unbelievable. Maybe the best team in football the last 6-7 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, the offense, it's funny because, it's always you're rested on the shoulders of Andrew Luck and his passing game, but, they got a good running game now. Marlon Mack's good. The defense, top 10 in most of the categories I look at for defense, especially against the run. The Colts have been great this year, so it's a little different team. They're more balanced. It's not all on Andrew Luck's shoulders like it has been in the past, so they're playing well, and like I said, I was onto them early on. It actually cost me quite a bit of money those first 6 weeks, but I kind of stuck with it because they probably had 2 or 3 games in there where they could have won early on, just late game shenanigans, and just couldn't get a drive together when they needed one. But I like this team a lot, the Colts.
Yeah, they had that overtime game where they kind of rolled the dice. I guess they
Houston.
were down. Yeah. They could have won the division if they had just taken the tie in that, I guess, huh?
And they had a chance to take the tie. They could have, I think, punted away instead of 4th down, and they would have been division winners and had a little bit easier path to the Super Bowl for sure.
Well, guys, that's we got to take a break here in a few seconds. So we just started it off, and as you can tell, when we come back from the segment, we're going to really get into this NFL weekend. We got Waz from @Waz BettorIQ. That's his Twitter. There it is. There is his Twitter. And then don't forget BettorIQ.com. Great site, great info, guys. We love having them. We endorse their product. We'll be right back. We've got to take a small time out.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. They want your money, and guess what? They can legally take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you. So what do? Fight back by letting our team of experts at the Tax Helpline work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws and will fight to save your money. So, if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket.
800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. That's 800-932-1749.
Hey, it's Ron Barr. The new year is here, so what's your New Year's resolution? If you're planning to be healthier, it all starts with a good night's rest. Right now, MyPillow's Christmas special has been extended When you go to MyPillow.com, you'll find the lowest price MyPillow has ever offered for their 4-pack. It includes free shipping. That's right, you heard me right, free shipping. You also will get their 60-day money-back guarantee that's been extended through March 1st. First, best price ever, free shipping, extended money-back guarantee, and a good night's sleep. What else do you need? So go to MyPillow.com, click on the Christmas special, and use promo code BARR. That's BARR. You'll get 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. Again, go to MyPillow.com, click on the Christmas special, and enter my promo code BARR. I have a MyPillow, and I love it. No neck or backache, just a nice, fitful sleep. So check it out, MyPillow.com, promo code BARR.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit, and 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
Welcome back, folks. Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank Perez. We have Waz from BettorIQ today, and of course, my co-host, the spectacular Oklahoma Brian on Sports Byline USA, also on iHeartRadio and the American Forces Network. By the way, to the American Forces Network, thanks a lot again, you guys. We can't thank you enough for all you do for us, and we know the country's up in turmoil again as usual, but we know with you guys behind us, we're safe. Brian, now we want to go through these 4 games. I don't believe the first one. I haven't heard you make any comments on this Indy Kansas City game, but I think after we listen to Waz, it's the Cinderella slipper maybe coming off.
I have an opinion, but I probably agree with Waz. Let's hear what Waz thinks about Indy at KC.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Colts are playing well. I mean, they're playing probably the best football they've played all season. They're getting healthy right now at the right time. The offensive line was banged up throughout the year. They're getting healthy. The receivers were a little banged up. Hilton was banged up. Ebron was banged up. All getting healthy. They're playing well, but I just, you really look at the Chiefs, what they've done all year. A lot of people are saying this line's a little too high. They're taking the Colts. The line's only 5.5. You take out home field advantage, you're looking at maybe a 2-point difference between these two teams. I just don't think they're in the same ballpark. We look at what the Colts do really well is they stop the run really well, but they don't stop the pass. They're in the bottom third of the league in stopping the pass. Obviously, Kansas City's a passing team. They're not much of a run threat. So I think the Chiefs are going to score a lot of points. You get Andy Reid with 2 weeks to prepare. He's actually the best coach in the NFL when he has time to prepare, extra time to prepare of all the current coaches, not only record-wise but cover margin as well. So I like these spots where you get a good coach. They're rested. Obviously, everybody's on the Colts. They're kind of like a public team right now. And I was on the Colts last week. I thought that was a good spot for them because they outplayed Houston the last 2 times they played them. But I think this Chiefs team's in another a notch or 2 better. And I think I played some Chiefs money line. I didn't play the points because I think it could be a closer game. And you tend to get a little value on the money line. I feel like in playoff games in the NFL because a lot of times people like playing the dogs. So the point spread might be accurate. But you might get a little bit of a discount taking the favorite on the money line. So I took the Chiefs minus 210.
I'm surprised. I kind of thought you were going to come in here and make a case for the Colts. I know you've been on them all year, so I will be very careful because I have to admit I haven't put a lot of thought into this game, but my initial lean was to the Colts. So you make me make a lot of good points in terms of KC, Andy Reid having 2 weeks. Of course, as good as he is with bye weeks or with extra weeks, he's been kind of a disappointment as a playoff coach.
A lot of early exits. You're right, first round exits, and especially the last 4 or 5 years. But this is definitely the best quarterback he's ever had. The big knock on the Chiefs is, they got all these weapons and they, whatnot, but they never really had a really top notch quarterback. And obviously Mahomes is probably the league's MVP. So we'll see. It should be a good game. I don't have a big bet on this one. I don't have any big bets this week, to be honest. But I think the Chiefs. There's a little value there in the money line.
And Brian, now the next game we get to is Dallas at the Rams. And I know you have mentioned, I think you mentioned on Monday or Tuesday a little bit how you really love this over. But I
do like the over.
Yeah, but I think we got some opposition in the house here.
Uh-oh.
Well, I shouldn't say opposition. I leaned to the under. However, I think a lot of it depends on how this game starts out in the first quarter, okay? If the Cowboys fall behind by 2 scores, let's say they're down by 10, down by 14 early on, and they're going to have to throw the ball a lot, I love the over. Because Dallas, what they want to do. They want to jam the ball down the throats of the defense. Elliott's been on a tear. He's probably the best running back in the league right now, in the best form. And the Rams aren't very good at stopping the run. They're actually 28th against the run in DVOA, and they're 32nd, dead last in the league in yards per carry allowed. So if the Cowboys can just stay in this game and keep it tight, control the ball, control time possession, I think they'll kind of grind it out and grind towards the under. However, if the Rams get up early and Prescott needs to throw a lot, and they can't rely on the run as much as they want to, then I think the game can be wide open and we can see it go well over. So I think that the way to maybe play this one is don't make a bet before the game. Maybe wait and see how it plays out the first couple of drives and see what the teams look like, and you can kind of get a feel for how the rest of the game might play out based on what the score and situation is.
I think that's great advice, and we utilize the same thinking all the time. I think there's a lot of times where you look at a game and you think, man, I don't really have a firm grasp of where this game's going, but I could see it going one way if it plays out, one way, and I could see it going a different direction if a different team. Like, I guess the team that comes to mind for me is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Whenever the Steelers would fall behind by double digits, I've always felt the last few years like that's one of the best live betting moves you can make is betting over when Pittsburgh goes into that no-huddle, quick tempo offense. And by comparison, when they get a nice lead, Pittsburgh games are great interactive under games oftentimes.
Yeah, Brian, that's a great point you make, because I remember at the beginning of our career here, one of your key things that you were talking, we were having those week on the tutorials, was on second half betting. Remember how the square and the public would always say, well, this team was minus 14 and they're down by 7. Now I'm going to lay the -6 in the second half. The old square play, like they got to come back and make it a lot closer. And your rule was follow the first half, which has been brilliant. It's been really good in almost every sport. You know that? Oh, guys, we got some breaking news right now. Breaking news is coming in the house. Let's see what we got here. We know that's coming in from America's Worst Bettor. Okay, there it is. America's Worst Bettor is on the loose. And let's see okay, he's coming in with the game 308, the Saints -8. Now, you guys remember that the America's Worst Bettor ended the season with Alabama. And you see what happened to Alabama against Clemson? Well, folks, he likes the Saints -8. What do you think about that one, Brian?
Well, I don't hate the play, actually. I don't dislike the play. What I dislike is the market entry. Why lay 8 this early in the week? The game has a chance to fall. If it falls to 7, you really, really have to be happy that you waited for a better entry point. If the game drifts up to 8.5 or 9, it's really not that big of a loss. So I think this game has a great chance to drop, and I could see myself playing the Saints on game day. I mean, the Eagles have been fighting for their lives 4 or 5 weeks in a row now. I think that's going to catch up with them at some point.
Yeah, but Brian, how many years have you been tracking AWB, America's Worst Bettor? In all the years you've tracked this guy, how many times has he gotten the closing line value?
He's never gets closing line value, Frank. But he wins occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's my thought. I'm curious, Waz, where do you stand on this game?
Well, I think you make a good point. I mean, if this game goes up to 9, no big deal, right? Games don't fall on 9 very often. Obviously, 7's a huge number. My model actually makes this game closer to 10, to be honest, and just the pure numbers before I make any adjustments, situational type things. And one of the reasons why is, when Foles first took over for Wentz, I made a decent sized adjustment, downgraded the Eagles about a little over 2 points, and every week since then I've upgraded them slowly. And I finally have the Eagles just about back to where they were with Wentz. It shouldn't be that way. In theory, Wentz is the better quarterback. He's obviously the starter. He had huge numbers last year. Foles has been great under pressure. And if you look at Foles' numbers over his career, if you take out that 1 year with Jeff Fisher where he kind of ruined him, and compare Foles' numbers, I know it's been limited actually. He hasn't played a ton of games. But if you compare his numbers to like the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, I mean, he kind of belongs in that group, surprisingly. So I'm becoming more and more of a believer of him, and I really just don't want to fade him. So I'm probably going to sit this one out, but I don't think we'll see the line move down to 7. I don't think we'll hit 10. I think we'll probably be between 7.5 and 9 here the rest of the week.
Would you use it? Would you use the Saints in a teaser if you had open spots?
Potentially. I'm not a big teasers guy in the playoffs, though, and the reason why is games tend to get out of hand in the playoffs both ways, whether if the dog wins or the favorite wins. We see a lot of lopsided scores that don't make sense. Things tend to kind of snowball more in the playoffs, so I just don't like teasers at all in the playoffs, so I usually pass on those.
Hey Brian, let's when we come back from the break, let's bring that game, and then our favorite game that we're going to really get into is the Chargers and the Patriots. Folks, we'll be right back. This is Fifth Street Sports.
Hi, Rick Tittle here. You may know me as the sports talk host that can talk about all sports: football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, golf, tennis, auto racing, boxing, Olympics, rollerball. But this time I'm here to talk about pain. If you have pain in your knee or your back like I do, then you should know about the Health Alert Hotline. If Medicare is your primary insurance, then you could qualify for a back or knee brace at little or no charge. I have an old injury from my football playing days, and anything that can help take that pain away and make it more manageable, that has my attention. I love the free delivery, and they take care of the paperwork for you. So if you have Medicare and need help for back, ankle, knee, or shoulder pain, please call the Health Alert Hotline at 800-428-1570. That's 800-428-1570. Agents are standing by 24/7, so go ahead and call now. 800-428-1570.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631. It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more.
800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Folks, we're back. Fifth Street Sports on Sports Byline USA and iHeartRadio, also on the American Forces. We have today Waz in the house from BettorIQ at his Twitter handle. It's at Waz at BettorIQ. Obviously, you can always go to his website, BettorIQ.com. Great site, guys. They got great information. The handicappers, I mean, really top of the line stuff. You know, we've only endorsed 5-star guests and people and things on here. But right now, Brian, we got one more NFL game to talk about. And on this one, this is where I kind of love it because I feel like I'm going to be throwing two pit bulls into the ring because you have been chirping since Monday about the L.A. Chargers, and Waz likes the Pats, baby, because Frosty's going to be there.
One of the reasons.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Although I guess I'd rather have 3 to 5 inches of snow than have it 33 degrees and raining. I think that would be even more miserable for the Chargers. But that's a factor. I think that I've always thought the public overreacts to snow, and especially with totals, but with sides also. But yeah, no denying that will help. I know that Phillip Rivers has a horrible record lifetime against the Patriots. I think he's 1-7 lifetime against them. So, and Waz, you were pointing out their travel schedule. The Chargers have had a pretty brutal travel schedule of late. What exactly they had?
Week 17, they were in Denver, which, you know, playing altitude's tough for anybody. And then they have to go week 1 in the playoffs, go all the way out cross country to Baltimore to beat the Ravens. And they flew all the way back home to L.A. for some reason instead of staying out there. And now they fly all the way back out for the game against New England. So they've been in the air a ton these last 3 weeks of traveling. You wonder if that has like a cumulative effect now, and they're going to be a little more worn down. It's got to have some effect. I don't know if it's a big effect, a small. We can't really quantify that. It's really tough. But I think it's worth something. And you get the Patriots with 2 weeks to prepare. Belichick, a great coach. Obviously, he's been great with extra time to prepare. The team's well rested. They're getting a little healthier. Just a lot of things I think point to New England. I think people kind of sleep on them a lot every season, and then they kind of end up in the Super Bowl every year, and people, say here they are again. So, and I thought the line wasn't that far off, but the money line I thought was, again, just like we said with the Chiefs, there being a little bit of value in the money line, maybe not as much the spread. So I got the Patriots, I think, minus 185, which I think is a great bet. I mean, in a baseball game, you get 185 and the much better pitcher against a weak team. I think this is the equivalent of much better bet than that. So, I like the Pats. It's not a huge bet again for me. I don't have any big bets this week, but I'll take the better coach and the more experienced and, smarter, wiser quarterback and roll with the Pats here.
A lot of good points. The point on the money line, boy, you can't stress that enough. The public really has kind of a lottery mentality about money lines once we get into the playoffs. They just can't resist. They think that they've unlocked some kind of incredible secret. They figure out they can bet money line dogs, and they take them at such irrational prices. It creates insane value taking favorites of the money line in the NFL playoffs. Super Bowl, and especially if you have a lot of outs, you can grind out a nice profit just picking your best money line favorite odds, and then on the other hand taking the points on the other side. I guess in this game you could have probably laid minus 185 against plus 5, plus 4.5 if you timed it right. So
I know a lot of guys in the Alabama Clemson game who were laying like minus 195, minus 200, and then taking like 6 with Clemson where they could find it, because they said that was plus EV if you did the math on it. Now, it obviously didn't work out. It didn't get middled. But they said if you're taking both of those bets, you're in a plus EV situation. I think it's similar in the NFL playoffs where, especially the Super Bowl, like you said, Brian, the Super Bowl, everybody wants to bet the dog in the money line, no matter who it is. It doesn't matter what team. There's always extra value on the favorite. And then, if you want to go for the middle, it's not risk-free, but it's definitely a lot lower risk than playing one side or the other. So, you're right.
Brian, now check this out. And I know this one, boy, I love throwing you opposition stuff because I just love to see you go to battle. I was talking to Waz between the break, and he says and I know you're anti this, baby. He says during the playoffs he loves pleasers in the NFL. I know that's a bad word for you.
I do like pleasers in certain spots, but I like pleasers on like one-off games, like teams playing on a battleship or high school football on ESPN3.
Those are good, yeah.
Preseason NBA. Any kind of weird one-off situation. I like pleasers. The thing with pleasers, there is value on pleasers around the calendar, but you really have to know that you're actually getting good odds, and a lot of people don't do that. That they just
don't do the math. Yep.
They don't do the math. Yeah, and the same thing is true with teasers. If you could have, great selection of games, but if you're laying 130 on a 6.2 team teaser, or getting plus 140 on a 3-teamer, I mean, you're just never going to win. So knowing the correct odds is half the battle.
Yeah, and I to be honest, I usually don't find multiple teams to do a pleaser. I end up doing an alternate line. So instead of laying 8, I'll lay 14 or 16, whatever. Sometimes there's a 6-point differential. Sometimes it's 8. Depends on what kind of alternate lines they have. But if I really feel strongly about a side in the playoffs that they're going to dominate and be the much better team, I'd rather lay more points and get a bigger plus price if I'm that confident. And most people kind of think the opposite. They like teasers because they're getting more points, and it just intuitively feels like you're getting value when they're throwing you extra points. But I think in a lot of cases you're better off laying more based on how strong you're feeling about the game. Lay the more points and get that bigger plus price. I think you do a little bit better off in the long run if you have a good understanding of volatility and variance and when games could be blowouts and when they can get out of hand and when they can't. So I think you've got to bet a few of them and kind of do some research and kind of learn when the right spots are. But if you pick the right spots, it could be really lucrative.
I'm always, speaking of motivation and playoffs, how things change, I'm always stunned when I look and I see how little money NFL players are actually playing for in the playoffs compared to their regular season salaries. You've got guys that make well over $10 million a year, so their game checks are getting close to $1 million for a lot of the elite quarterbacks, and yet they're playing for $40,000 a game. This time of year in the playoffs, it really makes you question: are they all 100% on board with winning? And I guess you have to say they are, because it sounds crazy to suggest they're not. But you got to wonder if you're like Melvin Gordon. I hate to pick on him because I think he's a phenomenal running back. But what if this guy, has a injury this week going into the Patriots game where, he could do potentially damage to his knee or his leg or whatever's hurt on him? I could totally get somebody wanting to shut it down and not play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So Brian, so let me ask you a question. So when a player, let's say a player signs for $10 million for the season, that's for the regular season. Now, when the postseason hits, everybody's the same, right? Everybody is. It's
for the most part. The formula depends depending on if you won the division or you're a wild card. There's a different pay rate, but yeah, it's not far.
But I mean, like the offensive tackle for New England makes the same as Brady for winning this game,
yes.
right? Okay, so
absolutely.
Okay, so but see, that's what I was thinking is so do you happen to know what this game is worth to the winner and the loser, let's say in the Patriot game?
So I'm looking at I was just looking before the show started at the 2018 data, and it looks like the entire way through the NFL playoffs, looks like you were playing for, oh man, I can't. I think it's somewhere in the hundreds, somewhere between 100 and 200,000.
Okay, but
all the way through.
Sure, but let's say like this Charger game, obviously like the winner gets more than the loser. So let's say the winner of this game gets $40,000 and the loser gets $25,000. Now to Brady and these people, that means nothing. But say you're a second string center or second string offensive lineman, you're making like $670,000 for the year, $580,000, and now it's like to you, like you call your wife and say, "Honey, we just got a new car. We just picked up $40,000." To that guy, it means a ton, right?
Well, that guy's probably also auditioning for a spot on the team next year, and he can't afford to I mean, there's just a few players, like running backs is probably the best example. They have such a short shelf life that I could see, a running back, for example, or a tight end, or one of these positions that just doesn't last a whole long in the NFL. I could see that kind of guy maybe. I don't know. It's one of those taboo things in sports we never talk about. It's always assumed everybody wants to win a championship at all costs. And I know this sounds like blasphemy, but if I was a professional athlete, that would be like the 15th thing on my list is winning a championship. I'd be more concerned with living in the right city and having a good, secure, long-term contract. That sounds.
There probably are guys. There probably are guys that think like you, Brian, but they're not going to admit it publicly.
That's
especially
right.
to the media, right? So there probably are a lot of guys that value, the balance of life, being healthy and whatnot, and the championship is down on the list, but they're never going to say it, so you really don't know if that's true or not.
True, but Brian, but you gotta agree that because I played pro sports, we only made $29,000 a year. But let's say for a second string safety or a backup kicker, wow, like an extra $40,000 for this game, and then we get another $50 for the next one, and like to those guys it means a ton. Like they can write their wife home and say, honey, we're gonna have a really good off season. We just picked up another 130. But guys, we're listening to the music. That means it's time to take a break. We'll be right back. Fifth Street Sports. Don't go anywhere. Good stuff coming up on the last segment.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help.
800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
Hey guys, it's Fifth Street Sports. We're back on Sports Byline USA, also on iHeart, American Forces, Twitter, Facebook. We're all over the place. We got Waz from BettorIQ. Today we've been going through the segments. Brian, I wanted to touch one more thing back on. We were talking about these game checks for the playoffs and that. Now, I live in Vegas, okay? And I know for the Brady and the elite guys, another $30,000 or $40,000, and then as you go, you get another check for 40 if you keep progressing. Doesn't mean anything, but to a lot of these guys, it does, because there's I don't know if you ever watched the show over here called Pawn Stars. You know, have you ever watched Pawn Stars? Okay, that's we drive by there all the time. Well, when we stop in there, believe it or not, inside of Pawn Stars, you can probably he might have 30 to 40 Super Bowl rings up there that have been sold or pawned. Now, none of those are from Brady and Rodgers or any of these guys. They're from like the second string offensive lineman, the third string safety. They're not selling. These other guys ain't selling their Super Bowl rings. So 40,000 means a lot to the to a lot of the players on the team,
Yeah, so I think I know where you're going with this. So you're saying you win the Super Bowl today, and you might not necessarily cash in on it, but when you're down and out in 10 years, you can pawn that ring, and that's like a little jump start maybe to get you going a few more months before you finally expire.
Yeah, but I mean, like, would you feel guilty if you sat there one day in Vegas and you and Rick went on a big rush and you won a couple $100,000 and you wanted to buy something unique and you went into Pawn Stars and bought like a Oakland Raiders Super Bowl ring from when they beat the Eagles? Would you like wearing that around Tulsa, knowing that it was some player that it was so desperate in Vegas he had to pawn it or sell it?
I think there's no worse look than grown men walking around in football jerseys, except for maybe trying to wear Super Bowl rings. That actually might be a worse look. So, no, I would never do that.
Right. Hey, guys, well, you know what? Brian, it's the third segment, and we have Waz is going to give us some things. This is talk you can bet on. So Waz from BettorIQ is going to give us some of his stuff. And did Rick come in the house yet with anything? Let's take a look over here. Hang on a second. Let me look at Rick, because yesterday he split out.
I do. I've got 2 college plays and an NBA play from him.
All right. Well, bust it out, brother. Everybody's waiting.
All right. I gotta say, I don't even know all of these games. He's playing 825 TCU +6, and I don't even know the opponent, to be honest. 835 Miami Hurricanes +10, and then in the NBA he's got the Milwaukee Bucks -1.5.
That's from Florida Rick, who everybody really pays attention to. He's done great. Waz, you got anything for us?
Yeah, I got a good college basketball play today. I don't like the card overall, but this play I like a lot. Mississippi, the Rebels, at home getting 3.5 points against Auburn. Mississippi State, they went out and got Kermit Davis to take over as their head coach this year, and they were a mess last year under Andy Kennedy. I think they're 11-20. Kermit Davis takes over. They're 11-2, and they're 12-1 against the spread this year. Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
Bruce Pearl at Auburn. They're 11-2, but they've only played one true road game all year. Now they go into the conference play to play their second road game of the year. What happened in their first road game? They lost 78-71. To North Carolina State. So only their second true road game of the year. They lost the first one. Mississippi State with Kermit Davis, Mississippi with Kermit Davis, 12-1 against the spread. Middle Tennessee, the team he left last year, 1-12 against the spread. So you see how big of an impact a coach can make from going from one team to the other. He left Middle Tennessee, a disaster now, and he comes to Mississippi and turns the team around in 1 year. So I like Mississippi getting 3.5 at home today.
This is a really big game for Ole Miss. I've got actually a friend of a friend that coaches that's on that staff, and they didn't have a really strong non-conference performance so far. They lost a game they should have won against Butler that they let get away. They lost to Cincinnati, so they only have 2 losses, but they I know this is a big game for them, and I'm with you on this game. I actually would have, if I was going to release a game, that's the game I would have released. It's funny you mentioned Mississippi State, Kermit Davis. He's actually a Mississippi State guy. He played at Mississippi State billion years ago. But
Yep.
yeah, I think this is they only go about 8 deep, but I think that this is a team that could, certainly make a run in the SEC, and they're going to be, I think, right on the edge of the bubble all year long. And this game goes a long way. I think they got another tough game on Saturday as well. I think they play Mississippi State actually on Saturday after this Auburn game.
Yeah, that's a big game. And, the lines makers just haven't caught up to a team. I like playing teams where the market's a little slow to catch on and they haven't adjusted the numbers enough. I mean, 12-1 against the spread. That they've, obviously the numbers have been way off, and it's not just they're barely getting by. They're crushing some of these spreads. They have a really good cover margin as well. So I think you can keep playing Mississippi every week here until, every game until finally the lines makers finally say, okay, we were wrong. Let's adjust it even more, because they're just doing this slow adjustment, small adjustments week to week, and it's just not enough. So I think it'll be a tight game, and in a tight game, getting 3.5 at home is usually not bad for conference play.
They won by 10, I think, at Vandy this past weekend.
They did, yep.
And that was kind of a redemption game, because if you remember way back, a million years ago with Bryce Drew, he was the guy when he was playing for Valpo that took Ole Miss out, in the first round, second round of it. And so
late
this
90s.
Kind of
that goes way back.
Yeah.
That's about 20 years ago almost.
Yeah. And so I think it felt good for them to stick it to him this weekend.
Good point. Yep.
Hey, Brian, let's, because I forgot to write this down. Let's write down, what did Florida Rick come in on again? You said TCU?
TCU and Miami Hurricanes.
TCU, Miami Hurricanes. And then he had an NBA. Oh, the Milwaukee, right?
Yep.
Milwaukee. So there's 4. So far we've given out, let me see, because, when we give out a lot of losers, if people start writing in on Fifth Street Social, they start talking bad. They start talking bad about our parents here on the.
At the beginning of the show, when you were doing the intro, I heard you say we were doing really well on iHeartRadio. I wanted to ask you, are we winning at a higher rate over there than?
No, but they're actually transmitting to a lot more places, and we're getting great feedback. Hopefully, they caught some storms on some of the days when we went 0-4. But so far now, was any okay? So then let's recap our NFL. We're leaning money line.
I like money line Chiefs and money line Patriots. I got good numbers on both, but they're still, even the widely available numbers are really good right now. And I think that Cowboys Rams game, you can live bet that. Just see how it plays out early on. If it's, if the Rams are up big, I think you can play over. If it's a tight game early on, I think you can play under.
Okay, so, and Brian, and we're going to keep a close eye on your Chargers, right?
I still like the Chargers. They have, they do have road wins at KC, Seattle, and Pittsburgh. That's about as strong of a road resume as anybody can ever post.
Now, you're Oklahoma, Brian, and many times we talk about all your teams out there in Oklahoma. So it's time for you to digest a little Vegas homer, because we are big Vegas night fans over here. And then Waz loves going to the games, and he's going to give us just a few of the stats on the last 24 games on our Vegas nights.
Yeah, I mean, they've been super impressive lately. 18-3-3 in the last 24. And they got off to a slow start. Everybody's kind of knocking them that first month or 6 weeks of the season because, a lot of people said last year was a fluke, your first year. You got a lot of momentum, a lot of people, getting behind them, and that, it's a kind of magical run, never will happen again. They're not the best team in the West. And you got to remember, they had Nate Schmidt, their best defender, was out the first 20 games with suspension. They had a couple guys banged up and injured. But they're healthy now. Pacioretty and Stastny are back healthy. They're finally contributing. They had a lot of new pieces this year, so it took them a while to get the chemistry forming. They also had, the Knights, the fewest home games the first 2 months of the season. Another reason why they got to a slow start, they weren't playing at home as often, and that's big. I mean, obviously they have a huge home ice advantage here in Vegas. T-Mobile is one of the loudest arenas in the league. You got the Vegas flu effect, so they're finally catching up with the home games. They're still not fully caught up. They still played a lot more road games than home games. And they're tied for the most points in the West now. So I think you can put up right there with Nashville, San Jose, all the best teams in the West. And right now they're playing just about anybody except for maybe Tampa Bay, who's red hot as well. I think they're 16-1-1. the last
Right.
18 games, Frank. So, the Knights, I think this team, this year's roster is actually more talented than last year's team. Will they reproduce the same results in the playoffs? Who knows? But they've definitely got more star power and more playmakers on this year's Knights team for sure.
And then Brian, and I got to tell you, as you know, I've been living in Vegas 55 years, and the myth here was I would say up until 2 years ago, that any pro team or any team that's ever tried it out here never made it. It was always terrible. That was it was like opening up a restaurant in Vegas. You wouldn't want to fight the casinos, with the buffets. All those myths are over, especially now in pro sports, because for 53 years I've always had to listen to homers like you and a lot of people. You're not a homer, but people from all no people from all over the country on Seattle this, and I love the Dolphins, all my cousins from Miami, all that crap, right? Well, it's Vegas time now, because right now you see this outfit I've got on right now, which is a short sleeve Under Armour shirt. This is what I'm wearing when I go outside. I actually turned the air conditioner on in my car today, and it's January 9th. So anybody in any team that wouldn't want to have their franchise in Vegas has got to be crazy. That's why the Oakland A's have brought their AAA team down here. We're going to be the sports capital of the world.
The Raiders coming soon. Yep.
Yeah, well, but you don't want to be the AAA capital of the world. Well, let me ask you about the NBA. So obviously Vegas is Seattle and Vegas are probably the top two markets for any team looking to move, and it's no secret that Memphis wants to move as soon as they can get out of that contract. That's a disaster there, and I know that the New Orleans Pelicans haven't been profitable in forever, but the NBA feels awkward to let that franchise move without everything it's been through. But at some point, one of those, if not both of those teams, are going to move. What do you think Vegas's chances are of attracting an NBA team in the next year or so?
I think they're definitely the favorites. I actually have a friend who's got somebody who works inside the NBA. His brother works inside the NBA, and internal talks, everything points to Vegas. I mean, they're already kind of planning, where they're going to play, what they're going to do, and they're going to expand the league probably to 2 more teams in the next 5 years, what they're saying. They're at 30 teams now. To get to 32, so you have an even number of teams. Seattle obviously makes a lot of sense. And they're getting a hockey franchise in 2 years, Seattle. That's already been decided in the NHL. So, I think Vegas got a great shot. I mean, I think that everybody wanted to see if it would work. Obviously the Knights proved it works. The Raiders are right behind. It's not going to be far behind for NBA. I think baseball, MLB, would probably be the last. This is a tough place to play baseball in the summers here. It's hot. It would probably have to be a dome stadium, I think, to make it work with a roof. But yeah, I think it'll happen. I think we'll see an NBA team here in the next 5-6 years.
I would have liked to have seen that stadium. I know that Summerlin's a very desirable place to live. It's where I would live if I lived in Vegas. But if they're going to have a chance to attract a Major League Baseball team, I would think the location would have to be something maybe downtown Vegas, maybe rehabbing a part of the city where they could get cheap land and build a new stadium. But maybe that's not in the cards now with the new stadium in Summerlin.
Ryan, hold that thought, buddy. We got to take a small time out. Folks, we'll be right back. 5th Street Sports, Oklahoma. Brian, Waz from BettorIQ, back in just 3 minutes.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. They want your money, and guess what? They can legally take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you. So what do? Fight back by letting our team of experts at the tax helpline work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws and will fight to save your money. So, if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket.
800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. That's 800-932-1749.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.
All right, guys, we're back. Fifth Street Sports. We've had Oklahoma Brian and Waz from BettorIQ. By the way, as always, you can catch us on iHeartRadio and on Sports Byline USA, American Forces Network. So it's been a really good show. We went through a lot of stuff, but Waz, why don't you? I wanted you to just tell the folks how they can get a hold of you or in touch or contact you.
Yeah, I mean, you can find me on Twitter at Waz BettorIQ. You also go to BettorIQ.com. It's a site we have for sports bettors. We're trying to educate sports bettors there. We've got articles. We've got podcasts Monday through Friday, really good shows. And we have selections as well. If you want to partner with one of our professional sports bettors, we've got 6 guys there. They all bet for a living. They all pay their bills with gambling winnings, legit pros. I've been doing this for a long time. I think we have over 100 years of collective handicapping experience at a professional level combined on our site. So a lot of sharp guys, sharp opinions. So, yeah, check us out at BettorIQ, and you'll definitely learn a thing or two.
So there we go, folks. Brian, any last words here you want to share with Waz before we take off for the weekend with him?
Quick question. So just reflecting on this Clemson-Alabama game, if Trevor Lawrence was to enter the NFL draft this year, Waz, do you think – I know he can't because he's only
2 more years, right.
Would he be the number 1 pick in the draft?
That's a great question. You know that he's still not physically there, right? I mean, he's got to develop a little bit physically. He's still very frail, and he needs to gain some weight, get a little bit bigger. But I still think with quarterbacks being so important in the NFL, and you build your whole franchise around a quarterback, he'd still be at least in the top 5, if not number 1. I mean, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not caught up on who's going to be the top picks right now, but yeah, he'd be up there for sure.
Yeah, I kind of think so. It's going to be a weird 2 years with this guy, just hoping he doesn't get injured for the next.
And I heard the XFL is going to take guys. They said if he wants, he could play in the XFL for a year, get paid like $250,000, and forego his junior year at Clemson if he wanted to play in that league in 2020. Which that could be interesting if that league becomes more of a developmental league to pull guys out of college a little bit sooner and get them paid.
Kind of like Tamarick Vanover in the CFL.
There you go.
Guys, we gotta wrap it up. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Fifth Street Sports. Have a safe day, and it's talk you can bet on. I hope you wrote down everything we have. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for listening.
USA Radio News.
President Trump on Wednesday called his meeting with Democratic leaders a total waste of time, signaling